Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I am Disco Kitty, the crappy Cricut crafter. Yes, we're going to do a paper craft today and it's going to be super frustrating for me, but I'm going to get through it, kind of, mostly. We'll see what happens. I mean, I already know what happens. I've already done it. Here it is. It's here. Ha ha ha. I can't see it. Anyways, so I wanted to do something fall Thanksgiving-y, you know? So I found this really cute pattern for a 3D, like, you know, tabletopper Acorn that's really pretty and stuff, and I'm just going to have so many problems with it. But we'll talk about it as we go through it. So let's just get right into it. Okay, the first thing we are going to do is we're going to put in the rotary blade, which is a creasing blade. It is not a cutting blade. And then we will put the fine point blade back in, and this is how we're going to do it for all three colors. And we're going to cut and cut and cut and cut, and then we'll swap it out, and we'll crease and crease and crease, and then we'll swap it out, and we'll cut and cut and cut and cut and cut. And we'll do that with all three colors. This project was such a pain in my butt. And I realized after I figured it out that, one, I didn't have a sharp blade, or I just didn't have enough pressure on it. Because look at all that crap that got left over. You know, the white edges where it just ripped up. Yeah, it has a new blade in it now, though it probably didn't really need one. It probably just needed to cut more with more pressure. And that's okay. Live and learn, and then we'll do things right the next time, right? But yeah, cut and cut and cut and cut. And then we're going to peel and peel and peel and peel. And then we're going to pick all of this out. Definitely shows that I did not use the right setting on my machine. I should have used a heavier press. But you know what? It's okay. I don't mind this kind of work. I'm the kind of person that likes to take things apart, and I like to sort things, and you know, it was okay. So what we're gonna do is I didn't do it this way the first time. This is actually the second time I have put all of these together, because the first time I put them together, I didn't know what I was doing, and I bent them all the wrong way, and I glued them all together and then tried to glue them together at the end, and it just wasn't working because I was making each one of these an individual piece, and it just I have no idea what I was doing. The way you're supposed to do it, however, is you're supposed to fold them forward, I guess, you know, so that the gold is on the inside of the fold, as it were, and or the face is on the inside of the fold, as it were, and then glue them all back to each other, half and half. Will, you know, for two of them, and then the halves that are not glued will be glued to other ones, and I mean, you'll see when we get there. You'll see when we get there. But, I mean, it's pretty straightforward, you know, once I figured it out, because I had to figure it out, because I am not an intelligent person sometimes, and we know that. And that's okay. But, yeah. This was something that should have taken like 2 hours, just took like 5 hours, and it was a lot of frustration, and it was a lot of me going, oh my god, how did I do this wrong this time? So, yeah. And don't worry about any of the glue that's left over on the blue face, because it will actually dry. Here, though, we find out that the glue stick, that particular glue stick, is not going to work on the gold. So I'm going to have to go and get something else, and we're going to have to try it, and we're going to go, oh, wait, why isn't this working? Because it's dead. That's why it's not working. So we went downstairs and we got a different one, and we actually have this one at some point. is also going to stop working because it is also empty. So I'm gonna have to go back downstairs, and luckily I bought refills, so I just put a new one in, and that was super frustrating because I kept putting it in wrong, so it kept feeding wrong and feeding backwards, and I was just like, what the hell is going on? I don't understand what's going on. I'm so stupid. But we finally got it working, and I like to say that this glue will stick to just about anything, although, you know, I don't know. I like to think that the stick glue also works on anything except the glitter. The glitter is pretty obvious, but I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it works well enough. Just gotta get it on there. And then we will start putting them all together. Yeah. But yeah, I had a good time with this. I don't know why I said that. I mean, when I wasn't crying, I was having a good time. See, there it is. All runned out. Had to go downstairs and get a new insert. Ugh, what a pain in the butt. Yeah. Just so much frustration, but it's okay. It's all done. I don't have to do it again if I don't want to, but I might, because I did have a realization after this was all said and done that I do have one more type of glue, that Tombow glue that comes in the two-tipped applicator. Oh, just look at how frustrating this is. But next time, if I do this again, because I wanted to make like 6 of these and just put them all over my house. So luckily I had cut like 3 of them, 2 or 3 of them. Definitely 3 of the gold, because I'll explain that later. And then 2 of each of the other 2 colors, because, you know, why not? And I ended up with just 1 working piece out of all of those cuts. And I'm sad because I really like it. But next time I do one, I think I'm gonna make my own, because this one is like super, I don't know, it's just, I don't like it as much. If you look at the gold, and you can't really see it in the video, but there's a lot of like little holes cut out, like there's little triangles and there's little circles and there's little swoops, and the little circles are not circular. Some of them are ovals, and I don't like it, and I want them all to be perfect little circles. And that's not from the cut, that's from the design. So at some point I'm going to make my own. I think I can do it. What do you guys think? Should I make my own, craft my own from beginning to end? And yeah, I only used 6 of the 8 because by this point I was getting so frustrated, but I do really like how it came out, and I hung the other 2 in my front window. Well, that was super frustrating for me. I'm sure other people probably wouldn't have had quite as much problem with it, but I have a real short fuse some days, and today is definitely one of those days. But yes, here it is. Yeah, so the instructions, what there were of instructions, called for a spray adhesive or hot glue gun, and these, look at these. Are you gonna hot glue this filigree? I don't think so. Unless you have a hot glue gun with a really super fine tip that only lets out a little itty bitty tiny bit. Hot glue is not going to work on this. Although, I mean, I suppose it could. What I was using was definitely not working on it. This was not working on the glitter, so I couldn't get the brown to stay on top of the gold. So I went and I got one of these, and that was super messy, and there are now spots that are sticky because it's, you know, yeah, I didn't use 2 of them. I only used 6 pieces because I was just getting so fed up with it at the end. I just could not deal with it. So some of this is, you know, like in here, in these, you generally in the smaller ones, like this hole here, and this hole here, and, you know, these little bits up here. But I mean, the glue stick worked really well for this because the back side of this is not textured and it just went down on a regular, you know, old thing. Although, I think, what did I do? I think I put the glue stick on the blue and then I put the gold on top of that. So, I don't know. Here it is again, falling apart. I really want to do it again, but I probably won't. But the next time I do it, maybe I will go and get some adhesive glue, or maybe what I'll do is I'll just not use glitter, or maybe I'll put the glitter on the very, very top. I don't know. What do you think? What would you have done differently? How would you have done it differently? What kind of glue would you have used? Would you put in a sharp blade before you found out that it was way too dull? Because I cut like 3 or 4, I think it was 3 sheets of glitter. The first one that I cut, you never saw because that was just, I put it on the wrong sticky mat and it never came up. I actually had to soak the paper off of it, so it was really bad. It's drying now. So I had to get, you know, the light tack mat in order to use the paper. And I should have known better because I knew I was using paper. Vinyl goes on the medium. Paper goes on the light. Things like leather and stuff like that go on the high tack, the strong. But it's done. And that's all that matters. So, like I said, what would you have done differently? What kind of glue would you have used? What kind of paper would you have used? And, yeah. With all that being said and done, thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you next week. Stay safe.